Hello my friend in Light Code channel, and welcome into a new episode. In this tutorial we are going to find out what is the partial resource route and how to create one. First of all, let me answer the first question. When we do not want to register the route for all the methods, then we can do so by specifying only those functions that the controller can handle. In other words, by the partial resource partial, we can make a limitation for user in using all functions in the resource controller. By these two commands, by these two helper only and except, we can make or create a limitation for user to use the function which has we will create it, those into controller by this helper except and only. And the steps we must do. The first, we create the new controller, and the second steps we declare resource route and create step 3, create a view page. Let me go to the VS Code and starting the work. First of all, we need to create resource controller. So we do PHP artisan make and colon and controller and we name it for example product and capital controller, and here we must add the -- resource helper -- resource and hit enter. Yes, this by executing this command we established a new controller here. We named it product controller, which have index, create, store, show, and all other function user maybe need to interact with database. The next step, we must create or declare a route for the calling this controller. So then we need to go to the web file, and here we create route and colon. For here we set we add the helper resource, and then for example I add URL, named it product for example, and then comma, and call the controller we need. So we named it product controller, suggested for us here, and colon class, declare type of this controller class, and semicolon. This normal type of resource controller. So here we need to create for check our work, we need to create a view page for controller for testing. So here we say, for example, product .blade.php and hit enter. This created for us a new view page. We set a tag, simple tag, for example h2, and then say hi people, for example, Hi people. So after that we need to call this view page by one of the function which created automatically in the product controller. For example, by index here I say return response, for example, response, and after that call the view helper, and into view helper we add the product, this name of view we created a product, yes, this, and semicolon. So now if you need to upload our project on the local server and running the product on the browser. Now we go to the command line and say php artisan serve, I think. Let me check if the local server work started. Yes, we created local server, yes, started, and here I hit enter. Our project running on the server, local server. We need to go to the browser and say local host, for example. Here we say product, and hit enter. Yes, we can see here our project work fine, work correctly. Now we need to add the partial route, add the limitation for use this resource controller. So we need to test first limitation tools here. We need to test this. We say we say to the route use only this two, for example, function. Let me check this helper and show you how it is work. Go to the VS Code and go to web file, and here we add this helper and make limitation. For example, only. And so let me before that show you some tools here. If I create a new command line, and by this command I will write here, we can check how many route here in our project. So I say php artisan route and colon and list, and hit enter. You can see here we have all product, index and store and create and show and update and destroy and edit, all function or route are available for user to use. So let me make limitation, create limitation for user. So I say only, for example, I say index, for example, index, and return to the command line and rewrite this command php artisan list. You can see here for product one route available for user, index. By this helper we create limitation for user. We will say to the route give the permission only on the index function. This what is the only function do for us, create limitation for user. So we can check it by go to the user, and here it work fine. So if I use the second helper, which name it except. So let me go to VS Code and type here except. So if I go back to the controller, to a browser, I refresh it, it give me error. So let me go to the browser and in the Laravel I copy this. Yes, except here. So if I copy this and go to the VS Code and set it here, Control V, and for example refresh it again, so it make for us is not support method post. Let me check what is the error and go back to the here. Okay, my friend, I come back here. My mistake was there. Index work with get post, and except work with post method. So we must remove this from here, and for example remove it here from here, and go to the documentation of the Laravel and copy this, Control C, and go back to the VS Code and add all those function here, Control V, and go back to the command line and check what we do and hit enter. You can see here our two product 3 function work, index and show and edit. So if I added show, for example show, so you can see, and come back to the command line and hit enter. You can see the show function is removed from the user cannot access this function, because we say to the route give permission to the user use of index and other function except create, store and update and display and show. By these two helper, we can create or make limitation for user in using our resource controller. I think this enough for this episode. Thank you for watching, and if this tutorial helpful for you, please support us by like, share and subscribe. Thank you again for watching. I wish see you in a new episode or in new tutorial. Goodbye.